Right now, you are moving. Even if you are sitting perfectly still, you are hurtling eastward at nearly 1,000 miles per hour. But what happens if the brakes slam on? Welcome to the edge of existence. Today, we pull the plug on the engine of our world. We are asking the question, what if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning? Physics has a rule called inertia. It dictates that objects in motion stay in motion. If the solid Earth halted instantly, the atmosphere and everything on the surface would not. At the equator, the rotational speed is 1,037 miles per hour. If the ground stops, you do not. In a fraction of a second, every human, every tree, every building, and every drop of the ocean would be launched sideways at supersonic speeds. The atmosphere would continue to rotate at its original speed. This would generate winds faster than the blast wave of an atomic bomb. We aren't talking about a hurricane. We are talking about a global wind scouring the surface of the planet clean. Anything not bedrock would be pulverized. The friction of the air moving this fast would generate massive heat, likely sparking global firestorms within minutes. Humanity would be erased before we even registered that the sun had stopped moving. There is, however, a tiny exception. The closer you are to the poles, the slower the spin. If you were standing precisely at the North or South Pole, you might survive the initial stop. You would feel a lurch, perhaps be thrown to the ground, but you wouldn't be turned into a supersonic projectile. But don't celebrate yet. Your nightmare is just beginning. Our planet is not a perfect sphere. It is an oblate spheroid, bulging at the equator because of its spin. The centrifugal force holds the oceans in place around the middle of the planet. When the spin stops, that force vanishes. Gravity would immediately take over, pulling the oceans away from the equator and toward the poles. Two colossal bodies of water would rush north and south. We're talking about mega tsunamis, kilometers high, moving with the force of a tectonic plate. The equator would become a dry, exposed ring of land, a new supercontinent encircling the planet. The poles would drown under new, miles-deep polar oceans. Most of Europe, Canada, Russia, and Antarctica would be deep underwater. The only land left would be the strip around the middle. Let's assume you somehow survived the winds and the floods. Maybe you were in a deep underground bunker. At a high latitude, you emerge to a silent world. The Earth is still orbiting the sun, but it isn't spinning. This means a day is no longer 24 hours. A day is now 1 year long. For 6 months, your side of the Earth faces the sun, unrelenting, unblinking. Under this static sun, temperatures would soar well past 120 degrees Fahrenheit, boiling away, remaining surface water and baking the soil into brick. On the dark side, 6 months of night, temperatures plummeting to Arctic lows, freezing the atmosphere itself. Life would only be possible in the Terminator zone, the thin twilight strip between the scorching day and the frozen night. Here, the sun would sit forever on the horizon. Survivors would have to become nomads, forever chasing this twilight as the Earth slowly orbits the sun. But there is one final killer, the silent guardian. Earth's magnetic field is generated by the dynamo effect, the spinning of our molten iron core. No spin, no dynamo. Without rotation, the magnetic field decays, the shield falls, cosmic radiation and solar wind would strip away the ozone layer and bombard the surface. The twilight zone, your only safe haven from the temperature, would become a radiation trap. Cancer rates would skyrocket. Sterility would become universal. The atmosphere itself would slowly be blown away by the solar wind, just like Mars. If the Earth stopped spinning, it wouldn't just be a disaster. It would be an unwinding of the delicate clockwork that allows biology to exist. We are fragile creatures living on a rock that must dance to survive. So the next time you watch a sunset, remember you are watching the engine of your survival at work. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the abyss, subscribe to Edge of Existence and tell us in the comments, would you rather face the scorching 6-month day or the frozen 6-month night? See you on the edge.